Let's start with the Nifty 50 analysis for September 8. So as I always discuss that we have to mark important levels in a 1 day time frame. So 1 day time frame, and the important levels can be, you can see previous swing high was here, because this previous swing high was taken out in yesterday market itself. So this will act as a previous swing high, and next to that another previous swing high can be here, and previous swing low is already been marked, or like actually the previous swing low for current day would be this one. So let's again mark previous day's high and lows. So this was the previous swing, previous day high, and previous day low is already been marked. This is previous swing high, and this is next to that one. Okay, if this high is taken out, this will act as a previous swing high for current day. So we have already discussed that yeah, we have a pattern, like most of my strategies that I discuss will always decide whether to enter or not in a trade in the first 5 of the day itself. So we have a strategy over here, gap up rejection. That's where when the market opens gap up with respect to yesterday's market closing, that's where we call a gap up. And if the sentiment is positive, if it closes like this, if it breaks the previous day high, which can act as a breakout because yesterday there was a consolidation, so we can enter the trade over here, and we can book till next pivot or next previous single or the next resistance. But here it opened gap up, so it didn't break the level. So whenever the market opens gap up, either we have to wait for consolidation and again to enter as a with the breakout trades, or we have to analyze based upon the first initial balance whether the market going to sustain this level or not. Since there was a previous swing high which can act as a very important resistance, so we have to look for shorting opportunities over here. So immediately, and along with the PSH, there was one more level, that is pivot, which can act as a important resistance for today. So we have to look for according to my strategy, we have to look for shorting opportunities. So there was a pivot resistance as well as previous swing resistance, and the market was gap up. So and one more confirmation would be the opening candle was kind of a bearish to neutral candle, because the candle is actually an hammer which indicates bullishness, but the closing was below the opening price. So that's why it gave a red candle. So the sentiment is negative, we can go for short rates in the next resistances, that is PSH. So your stop loss would be here, and target would be back to day's low. Yeah, or 2 hour, even though we have support or resistances previous day or whatever it may be, we have to always go for 1:2 hour. I always say that this is what we have to do in the trading to survive in the long run. And one more points I used to discuss in my in this post market analysis, that gap borders are actually very important points. So here you can see what is actually a gap border. Gap border in the sense, when the current day market opens above or below the previous day lows or highs, there will be a gap between previous day closes in the 5 minutes time frame. So you can see the yesterday's closing was here, 5 minutes candle, last 5 minutes candle during the market closing was here, and you can see exactly that's where the market reached and gave a bounce back. So yeah, that is why I'll always say gap borders can also act as very important resistances. So here actually you can go for a buying opportunity, but I wouldn't recommend anyone to take the trades, because most of the cases, if it gets consolidated here, if the price sustains here for a more duration, there will be a chances of breakout of these levels. And yeah, there was a CPR resistance as well. It was a wide CPR. I would expect a side range to range bound market when the previous day was a trending day. So yesterday it was a kind of a trending day. So whenever there is a trending day, the next market day would be sideways to range bound market, because that's most of the retail traders would take a break after booking huge profits, or the market participants will be less, or whales or bears wouldn't be having any clarification whether to go long or whether to go short. So that's why the market can act as a sideways to range one. So I would look for a sideways market, but there will be a chances of breakout of this level until the CPR we can achieve the target. So the gap border was rejected. Had this candle, like if this wasn't a huge candle and there was a morning short pattern, or bullish engulfing kind of patterns, I would definitely go for a long trade over here, because that's the region where we have gap border as well as previous day uh, previous day high as a resistance or a support, we can say. So ideally, the only trade that I got in Nifty 50 is gap up rejection, which gave 1:2 or easily in the morning session itself. So yeah, this is one trade in the Nifty 50. Let's go back to Bank Nifty analysis. So we have to mark previous swing lows and swing highs in the 1 day time frame. So this was the previous swing low for current day, and previous swing high, previous one which was already taken out. So this will act as a very important level, and if this is taken out, the next level can be this one, because from that is where from here it was a downtrend and again a retracement, and again this from this level it gave a huge rally, a rally in the sense downward momentum. So that can act also as a very important resistance for today. And we have to mark these other two levels, that is previous day high, which is been already marked, and previous day low was here, which is already been marked. Yeah, like since you can see, for the past few days I always took these kind of trades, which we can say that red candle retracements. So here on September 5, what we had is on Tuesday, there was a breakout, but it was not a it was a huge candle. I would go for and here there was also one more resistance. I would go for short trades over here, and which gave 2 hour target. And on September 7, so again here there was a red candle retracement, but yeah, that gave stop loss. And today's scenario is also quite same. So there was a what we can say, a previous day high breakout with a negative candle. So that would be a shorting opportunity for today, and your stop loss should be here. Ideally the stop loss should be here, but you can see that there was a huge resistance, which we call as a CPR resistance, and it was wide. So wide CPR usually indicates the resistance or the support is very strong. So this was a shorting opportunity, but the candle was huge, and again there was a CPR resistance. So I wouldn't recommend this trade. But yeah, once we have a strategy that I happened yesterday, day before yesterday as well, that is red candle retracement. When the candle is huge, the red candle is huge, we have to you can enter the trade once the price comes around these levels, because that's where the bulls have entered and trying to push the market down. So yeah, this was also one of a trade, and you can keep your stop loss over the red candle high, target back to day's low. So that gave more than 1:2 hour, but ideally you have to book 1:2 hour. That would be enough, because if like you need great psychology, great practice, and understanding of the market sentiments to book more than 1:2 hour, or else you might end up gambling with the market, which eventually blow up your account, or you cannot survive longer time in the markets. And yeah, there was one more breakup, which we call as a red candle breakout, where there will be huge sellers and the stop loss is taken out. But yeah, the stop loss was taken out, but the bears were not having their stop loss was not decided by any levels. Maybe they have a huge stop loss, I guess. So the breakout candle happened with a parabolic momentum. There was no consolidation. Had there been a little bit of consolidation and a breakout, that would definitely make ideal long entry. But yeah, according to red candle retracement strategy, this was the ideal entry, and eventually gave 1:2 hour target. So that was one of an amazing trade for today. And again, you can see that yesterday there was a long rally, which and we have another strategy in price action trading strategies, which we call as a flag and pole pattern. So what is flag and pole pattern? Like you can see, there will be a flag. So the ideally the flag will be like this. This will be a pole, and how we will be having yeah, this is how the flags will be. So ideally they won't be like this, but in the price action patterns, for this we call as a flag and pole pattern. Yeah, it's the market doesn't move like this actually. So it moves like this and like this. So yeah, that's where we can see, we can call this as a pirate flag and pole pattern as well. uh, you can see there was a wedge kind of pattern supported by a long pole. So what was the pole here? This was the long pole here. you can see this was a long pole. So yeah, this was a pole and a flag, and there was a breakout, and this is called as a flag and pole breakout. So the entry would be at this level. Your stop loss would be ideally just below this doji candle. So target would be 1:2 hour. Yeah, like you can see, it immediately gave 1:2 hour over here. Or ideally, if you are looking for exact booking, you can book 1:2 hour here as well. But I would recommend you to exit around this level or around this level only, because that is the previous swing resistance. Yeah, if you are strict with your psychology, if you are stubborn with the market, actually that's how the trader should be. Once you enter the trade, you know the stop loss, you know the target, and you don't have to exit anywhere until unless one of the thing is taken out. Either you have to wait until the target is reached or the stop loss is reached. So that was one of an amazing trade today. So there were two entries, one is retracement and one was a flag and full pattern. So I have all these entries and exits marked on the charts as well. You can check out my Instagram page, where you can find exact entries along with the explanation, which I explained right now. Yeah, thank you. That's it for today.